Hello, my name is Mark Suter, and I am one of the Unity ambassadors. One of my specialties is creating little one-off tutorials on questions that I see in the Facebook group, or current trends and such in the VR industry, or just what I'm doing in my classroom. So if you are having any questions, you need a little visual tutorial, that's what I really enjoy doing. A quick little bit about me in my classroom. There's my website. But this is a typical day in my classroom in game design class. Lots of collaborating, lots of Quest 2 headsets, lots of mistakes happening, which is always good. You'll even see my signs in the background here. It says fail hard, then fail fast, then fail often. We talk about that a lot. And just creating a culture of expecting mistakes because you're doing things that are difficult. And so basically, those are what I expect of my students. This is how I manage my headsets. It's just a table with a long power strip. So one of the recent projects we did together, my students and I kind of co-created, was we partnered with a local car dealer, and we said we want to make a little job training simulation on how to change the brake pads on a car. So I went and took some pictures. And then we built a paper prototype, which is very, very recommended. It's not always made of paper, but essentially you act out how the thing works. And so like this is the button you push to lift the car up in the air on the lift that you saw at the car dealer. And then this lovely drawing is the air wrench taking the nuts off of the tire so you can remove the tire, etc. And so by acting this all out, we have an idea of what the user interface should be, what steps the user needs to do, how to position things so the user can reach them, all those little things that really speed up development, part of the agile development process. So this is a alpha version of that project. There's no up-down buttons at all. I did a quick model in SketchUp for this lift and just used a Unity cylinder here and threw a metal texture on there. This air wrench I got for free out of the asset store. And then this table is actually one of the ones from the Create with VR course. And this barn is from, I think, the Unity asset store or the SketchUp store. And then this is basically the final version inside the shed. You can press the up and down button and that makes the lift go up and down. The air wrench, when you touch it to these and you pull the trigger, you get haptic feedback. It buzzes in your hand and those nuts come off, which enables the tire to come off, etc. So I'm going to be doing some live events on how we did this and how you can make this. Because if you can make this, you're essentially applying the Create with VR for Educators Unity Learn content just in practical ways in job training simulations. They're not actually using this simulation to train people, but it is more of something that my students can work with a real client, get some feedback from the client, etc. Here's another little project that we did. So this company makes very specialized equipment that has these long arms with very sharp teeth that cuts through a street instead of using a jackhammer. And these are what the teeth look like. They're big. And so we did a couple of very simple prototypes. Like this is just a simple drop zone of putting the teeth in there. There would be a peg that holds that in there too. And then we're experimenting with doing a gamified version. So imagine each of those buttons up here are correct answers from a series of questions. I just put the correct answers to advance each stage of animation. So if you get the correct answer, then the pins come out. So they would be using this at conferences to educate consumers instead of bringing the big heavy equipment. They would use this type of experience, about a 1 to 2 minute experience for their customers to try it out and see how the equipment actually works. And that's just a GIF, of course, but this is the alpha version of that experiment. And then this is what it looks like when we go to the actual client and have them try it out and give us feedback, right? Lots of iterations. And the VRBasicBytes.com is just a little live show that I started. And I'm going to kickstart the next series of episodes now that it's summertime. We're going to be doing that push button lift the brake changing simulator. There it is. Whew. And some other live shows coming up. There's usually no coding or very little coding. It's to be beginner friendly. It's for my students. It's for the Unity community in Facebook, the Unity educators. And I'm also going to be doing a live version of this presentation that I did at a conference this past week, actually, which kind of shows a bunch of examples from industry, how to explain augmented reality, mixed reality, virtual reality, and tips on getting started when working with a client, etc. So those are some things to look at or to look for, and I hope to help you soon. Thanks.